Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Gems of War Charmed event in which the Snake Charmer is added to the game. So let's get into that. As far as the green, blue trait stone that ends up dropping, there is a lot of really good troops that end up using this. Some things that you would use it for earlier on in the game would be things like Monkey Disciple, Treant, as well as Apothecary. Later on in the game, you'd put it into things like Mercy, so that you could use it with Divine teams or any teams that need a lot of yellow, Christinex and Dragon teams, and Tapon to just get his. It's basically just the same thing as a Mercy, except just for red instead of yellow. Anyways, as far as the Snake Charmer itself, it is 100% dead content. It creates 9 purple gems. Oh, the biggest issue here is it's the same color as Giant Spider, which is only 2 mana cost more, but it's way better. And that's the big problem that it has. But it creates 9 purple gems, and then summons the Sand Cobra. A Giant Spider it converts any color it wants to purple, and then summons a little spider spawn. Both of their summons are completely useless, but it has way more control and way more potential using a Giant Spider. So this troop is essentially never really going to be used. They both even have Magic Link as well, so you'd pretty much just always use Giant Spider instead of this thing. So not quite sure what we'll be doing with this guy other than maybe glory farming with him this week or buying him for trait stones, but that's about it. As far as the actual event itself, you do get glory from it, as I just mentioned, 10% to all Empire, Leonis Empire, 10% to all humans. So there are several things from that kingdom that do have 20% this week, including himself. And this is the main thing you'd even use him for. This week he gains 5 additional glory every single PvP battle that you win with him, and this does count casual PvP, so if you keep repicking into casual PvP, you'll be able to go do it that way. So for example, let me go show that right now. Most of you are probably already aware, but you just keep clicking refresh, make sure to go to casual, so it's only 50 gold. Click on whatever is the easy battle, either keep repicking until your 1 trophy is very easy, or until you find fire bombs or something else that's ridiculously easy to kill. And then basically, if it's fire bombs, just pass your turn until you win. Just have to wait until they all go down. Make sure not to give it skulls like that, or any extra turns. When I move that so he doesn't get it, and just go from there. Now we just need to keep passing our turn with anything, and just keep going down one by one. We don't even need to cast or do literally anything. As long as we can survive 4 fire bombs, which pretty much any team in the entire game can, he'll go down, and we'll get HP for our hero, as well as the extra 5 glory. So as you can see right here, we end up getting 10 glory for that battle, simply because we get 5 for the normal battle, as well as the additional 5 for using the Sand Cobra guy with us. So that's about it. As far as the actual objectives themselves, you can actually do both simultaneously, gaining gold with the Snake Charmer, as well as getting PvP kills done. Every single kill that you do in PvP works towards the event objective this week, and there's 150 gems as well as 7 gem keys just sitting here. Also, a mirror is not that bad. Normally the Kingdom Epic is pretty lackluster, but this one is really good on Blue Guild War Day. It's a pretty high true damage as well. Can hit relatively one-shot on most blue troops, and if you give it a single magic buff, it's pretty much good to go to one-shot any blue in the entire game, so really good for that regard. Also has the stealthy into agile combination, as well as some immune to mana drain. It's not the greatest of troops out there, but it's definitely pretty decent, a little bit more towards mid-range, but good inside of various true damage teams. Anyways, let's move over to the chest now. There is a bunch of stuff in the event key drop table that you may want to consider getting. I personally won't be, since I already have all of it, but if we go over to Leonis Empire, there are several noteworthy troops that are going to be available. Let's go scroll down to that. So as far as Leonis Empire, as far as what's in it, it is Amira, Divine Ishbaala, Emperor Corvash, Falconer, Manticore, Mountain Crusher, Monster Muncher, Pride Guard, the Voice of Orpheus, which is the Mythic, and Wandering Monk are all in the drop table. As far as which one of those are relevant, mainly just 3 of them, and those 3 are Divine Ishbaala, Emperor Corvash, and of course the Mythic from the Kingdom. Divine Ishbaala, obviously many of you probably have seen me use it to no end. We use it basically every single day for like almost all the teams we ever use, but that's mainly because she is about pretty much top 10 in the game as far as troops are concerned, maybe even top 5, maybe even top 3. She's really ridiculously high up there, and she is in the event key drop table this week. She gives all Divines half mana start. That alone, if that was the only thing she did, would be worth using her for. She also transforms all green to yellow. The fact that it converts into its own color is really good. Converts red to skull, so it has skull spam, kind of like a Shegra, except it doesn't get a few extra spawns. And on top of that, it still has more. It cleanses all allies, which is really nice. They can just keep cleansing spam, especially since it feeds its own mana, so it can keep cleansing over and over again, kind of like how a Herd Master or Divinia can. And if that wasn't enough, on top of all those things, it also enchants 2 random allies. So it does a lot of value and is, yeah, one of the best troops in the entire game. And then there's Emperor Corvash. This is the best stunner in the game. It's also decently good for mana drain, as well as true damage. It has a little bit of mix of everything, but primarily it's mainly used for stunning, and that's what you get that for. And other than that, the only other thing would be Voice of Orpheus. Voice of Orpheus is arguably the worst mythic in the game, but it is a mythic nonetheless, and it's probably one that you don't have because most people probably didn't go for it. So if you still needed copies of Divine Ishbaala or Corvash, it might be worth going for if you needed copies of both. I don't think I will be. Divine Ishbaala doesn't gain much of a benefit. Corvash does, though, from becoming mythic. But, yeah, you can do that if you want to. But, yeah, some pretty decent drops. Definitely worth getting one copy of both of those if you can. Hopefully within, like, 50 to 100 keys or so. Anyways, as far as the Soulforge, let's go into that. Actually, let's go over the events. This Wednesday, we're going to be getting the Elemental Pet. That's pretty good because it synergizes with Firebird, Rowan, Firebomb if you're going to go down that route. It's also good with some giant teams that tend to have 3 elementals on them. And other than that, there aren't too many 4x elemental teams, though Infernus isn't elemental, so if you really wanted to, you can kind of build some elemental teams around that, though it's generally better, of course, just to build it into Divines because of half mana start and all of that. But yeah, Elemental Pet this Wednesday. On Thursday, which is why we're using Knight right now, is the Knight class event. It is, arguably, it's kind of funny. We got the worst mythic this week in the event key drop table, and now we get the worst class. Knight is pretty much the worst class in the game. There are like 1, 2, maybe 3 of them that could potentially be worse, but I pretty much would consider Knight the absolute worst. It is abysmal, but nonetheless, you'll need to get it leveled eventually, so might as well do it now during the event. It's actually going to be, despite the hero class being ridiculously weak, this class event's going to be really easy to do, because Divine Ishbaala is from this kingdom. You're going to be restricted during that game mode to Knights from Sword's Edge. So you'll be able to use Mang into Queen Jezebel and just destroy all of them in one shot. So it's going to be ridiculously easy to do the class event. So it might just be more time efficient to do it during that than it is to just grind it out by normal means. But anyways, other than that, let's go to Soulforge real quick. If you, the only thing relevant in here is if you don't want to get Divine Ishbaala off of event keys for whatever reason. She actually is in the Soulforge right now, oddly enough. She's in both event keys and Soulforge, so definitely don't leave this week without her, or at least try not to. She is, of course, one of the best troops in the game. She's a little bit weaker without some of the better Divines, but we'll be showing a little bit more of a budget team with her in a moment. But, yeah, still really, really good value, even with some of the weaker stuff out there. But that's the only thing really worth going for. All the mythics are not really worth it unless you just need it for collection purposes or anything like that. But anyways, let's actually go into some teams then, as I was hinting at. Let's go into whatever that is, and not that one. Let's go do Corvash or Divine Ishbaala first. I guess we'll go do Corvash first. So this is going to be a classic. The Corvash, Valkyrie, Justice, and Queen Mab. This team used to be so popular in the past, but figured we'd bring this out as it's relatively cheap. You technically don't even need Queen Mab. If you want to downgrade that, you could easily do it with the new, what's it called? Or not really new these days, but the Ice Goblin from that one kingdom, Drakzoom. You could go use with this and use that in last slot. But basically the whole premise of this team is get Valkyrie up as immediately as possible. You then keep getting freezes off your Queen Mab or whatever you have there that has the capability to freeze. The main reason you want to have the mechanic of freeze is because the Justice has a 4x boost ratio to attack and life every single freeze, and this is direct boost ratio, so it's actually 4 attack and 4 life per freeze, meaning you can get 16 extra life and 16 additional attack to all other allies per cast, assuming the entire enemy team is frozen. So that's a lot of stats, particularly earlier on in the game when your numbers are going to be way smaller. 16 to all stats, even just ignoring whatever that base value is. 16 to all, or not to all stats, to attack and HP is really huge. So really nice to have for that bonus. I don't really want to get rid of red, so we're going to go for a purple here, I guess. Definitely want to keep red and yellow on the board if we can. Going to be needing that for our Valkyrie constantly. And basically what we do is we keep doing these onto Doom Skulls, and hopefully just keep getting our alignments. Throw Valkyries wherever we need, keep getting them frozen, so even if we miss, we still keep going. Just get Queen Mabs in there when we have the opening for it. Just keep hitting on the Doom Skull again, and it's pretty much the entire team. We throw Corvash mainly just to, well, for one, it stuns them, so we don't need to worry about any skull reduction or anything like that, but we can also use it to mana drain them, even though he has immune to mana drain, as you can see right there. He doesn't actually have immune to mana drain because he's currently stunned, so as you can see, he lost all of his mana there. But let's just go get our mana right back up, and Do we have Valkyrie here? Yeah, we do. We're going to get rid of yellow here. One of the colors we really want, but looks like we're already at the point where we're going to win, so it's not really going to matter. And we'll throw a Corvash at it, and that's pretty much what that looks like. Really, really strong. And one of the main things you would really run with Corvash if you're going to bother actually running into a team. Though, of course, it's still good against any kind of instance where you might need stun. Anyways, that's actually that one's fine. That actually is a real team. For a second, I thought it was some kind of weird team because it had Dwarven Gate there. But we'll run with this. This is a 4x Divine team that uses no Mythic. I know I keep showing it with like 1 Mythic constantly, so figured I'd go with this. It does use 3 Legends, unfortunately. I guess you could keep downgrading from there. The main component of this team, though, is Divine Ishbaala into Forest Guardian. Ideally, you could use one of the 2-3 combos, either Divinia Diviner, Divine Ishbaala, or Diviner, Divine Ishbaala, Forest Guardian. Kind of need one of the two, because without either of the two, it's not going to work too well. You could also try putting your hero in here if you are lacking one of them and just kind of use that. Biggest issue that the Divine Ishbaala normally has if you're using it on a budget Divine team is there's not too many good low rarity damage source Divines. There's a lot of them that are high rarity, not so much that are low rarity though. So let's go to that. It's going to keep hitting it pretty much every single skull. It's one of our main means of damage on this team. Actually, it's pretty much our entirety means of damage. But we're going to go and keep converting it out. See what else we can get here. Do want to make sure we keep the reds going just so we can keep taking them for skulls at this point. So don't want to actually convert them out yet. Let's see. We'll go get that down to keep getting our HP up. Yeah, unfortunately has a stone skin there that's going to be getting in the way ever so slightly. I'm going to want to convert out something for an extra turn just to get it out the board. Hopefully we'll get alignment for something here. Divine Ishbaala, yeah, I guess it's worth going for here. So I'll clear everything out. We have the other one now, so we can just skull spam right into that and just keep throwing that down over and over again. We could ideally try to get enraged too, but that'd probably take way too many attempts to try to get enraged on that thing. So we basically just keep this cycle going between Forest Guardian now and the Divine Ishbaala, and pretty much just auto-win with infinite skulls is generally how this goes, especially with this much extra board control onto our team. You can even just use hero with like enrages and stuff up front, but I don't know, it really just depends how you want to roll with it and what you're actually up against specifically. But you can easily make adjustments to it as needed. Oops, what am I doing? I almost just converted out purple. We definitely need to keep purple on the board. We need those for other skull. Do we not have alignment here? Yes, we do. We'll go through that. That should hopefully give us alignment on the purple. It does not, oddly enough. Oh, yes, it does. Right in the corner there. So go grab that. It should be on green now, hopefully. Move that over first. And just need to get a few more of those down, and he'll be done. I'll move that over. Double check the board. How do we not have alignment? Am I just missing it? I'm probably just missing it somewhere. Nope, doesn't look like we have it. Let's move that over. Probably there, I just don't see it. That's normally the way it is. Well, what do we need here? Pretty sure there's alignment here, and I just don't see it. No, it's probably just not actually there. Let's just go throw Divinia down. If in doubt, clear the board. And let's see. Now we definitely have it, so we'll throw that one down. And there we go. But yeah, that's pretty much the team. You just keep getting a loop back and forth. And that's what you would normally do with it if you need to go with a more budget team. And of course, even though you guys probably seen it a billion times, but just in case you haven't, where's my Divine team? Might as well bring that out. Obviously, the most relevant thing, or one of the most relevant things, there's several different variants of this team, of course. But Divine Protector or Mercy, doesn't have to be Divine Protector if you don't have it, obviously. But Divine Protector or Mercy, Infernus, Ubistet, and Divine Ishbaala. And if you don't have this weapon and you still want to use hero, you can replace out Ubistet and go Mountain Crusher and go Mercy Mountain Crusher with the Infernus and Divine Ishbaala, of course. And ideally, you would be using a better hero class than Knights, but of course, with the class event, I do want to go and get our Knight upgraded. I might even get it all the way max this week, who knows, but definitely at least to 70 just to get some of its leveling done. We'll go and tap that out just so it kills out, and that's pretty much a match from there. We'll get a little bit of mana, go and get the last bit of our mana we need, go get a Ubistet, Infernus, and pretty much just need any one little poke, and that will clean it up. And that'll be that. If we can actually get that down. He's going to get a cast. I can't actually stop that unless we get some kind of really lucky cascade, but he'll go hit us some. Not too big a deal. Maybe hit us a few more times, but it's going to kill hero at most. And down it goes. Actually, could have just taken a skull with been quicker. But down it goes. But yeah, Divine Ishbaala, definitely pick it up. Do not leave this week without her, or at least try not to. She is one of the best troops in the game at this current moment in time. Of course, that could change in the future, but I highly doubt they're going to do anything so drastic that she's not going to be this good. They could take away 2 of her 4 things that she does, and she'll still be used because everything about her is just pretty spot on as far as powerful. But yeah, among one of the top 5 in the game. possibly top 3, possibly even best, depending on how you really consider it. Though her herself isn't really, like, the absolute best. It's mainly the things that she buffs to a degree. But anyways, that's the video for now. If you guys have any other questions or anything you want me to go over, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye, everyone!